you can still find pretty decent deals at the grocery store. And today I'm going to share with you how I'm going to take $25 worth of groceries and transform that into a really good meal for my family using a few staples from my pantry, but the majority of our food's coming from the grocery store. But before we get started, we're the Canny Couple. I'm Julia. Aaron is not here with me today. And we are a small homestead family that work every single day to merge homesteading and frugality. And part of frugality is trying to make the absolute most of our meals, which is why we do this a Meals for Deals series, or Meals from Deals series. Sorry, I always want to say 4 deals. So I'm going to show you what I got from the grocery store. Got a lot of really good deals. I actually ended up spending quite a bit more than $25. I spent $67 at the grocery store. But almost 40 of that was for stockpile. I found some really good meat deals and some other deals that we needed at the grocery store, and this is how I build my working pantry. I don't spend and buy what I need for the week. I actually look and see what I'm going to need in upcoming weeks. So let me show you what I got from the grocery store. Okay, so here is our grocery haul that we had for this week's meal plan. And actually, a bigger portion of this is all stockpile items. We ended up spending a total of $67.09, and only $27.40 is for this week's meal plan. So let's go ahead and show. I have all of our meal plan stuff on this side, and then all of our stockpile stuff over here. So here is 1 pack of chicken. These are chicken thighs boned in. I have 2 5-pound pack of potatoes. These were buy one get one at $5. They were $2.50 a piece. I have some squash here. These were 99 cents a pound. I have some jasmine rice. This was $2.50. This is one of the more expensive items I got. I have black beans. These were actually on sale a bit. These were $1.49. I have bananas. 4 of them have already been eaten on. The little one. Those are for her to have for lunch. Here is some milk. We have. They actually went up on price. They went up to $3.70 versus what we were paying before. Before we would get them for $3 a piece. Now we're getting them for $3.20 a piece, I think is the number. Okay. Oh, and a pack of New York extra sharp cheddar cheese. That is what we need for this week. Now let's look at all of my stockpile items that we will have in the pantry. So the cheese was 2 for $4, and then I had a coupon for $1.25 off. So I got off of 2. So I got a Monterey Jack. I wanted mozzarella, they didn't have it. I have 2 18 packs of eggs. We have some JFG mayo. It was buy one get one, so that would be $5.50 for both of these. That's a really good price. It's my typical sale price for these. This is the mayonnaise Aaron eats. I'm not a mayo eater, so this is what he likes to eat. I have another pack of these chicken thighs. I'm actually going to cook these up to have into the freezer for some chicken meals. But I went ahead and got 2 because it was really good price. They were 99 cents a pound. I have a picnic butt roast. As you can see, it was on clearance. It was $6.89, so it was a really good deal. This one, and then I got another one. It was $6.88, and it's a really good size. I have 4 cans of tuna. They were 79 cents each. This is emergency pantry staples. If I catch them under $1, I'll pick up a couple every single time. And then these, everybody's gonna think I'm crazy. So these are for leftover Easter plates, but they're just so pretty. Look at this. They're so pretty. They don't have bunnies on them. So they were 50% off. So I went ahead and got them for Isabel's birthday party. I got 4 packs of napkins, 4 packs of plates, and guess what? Mama is done. It's in October. This is how I typically pick up stuff for her. I look for it on clearance. So now we will go back and I'll tell you what we're going to do with all this food. Now I've shown you all of our great deals, what we have, let's talk about what we're actually going to be fixing this week. So first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a rice pudding for breakfast. I'm going to pull some cranberries out of my pantry, and that's going to be really great. Aaron really likes the rice pudding. I can't fix them for him often, but it's been several weeks since we've had it, so it'll be a really good addition to our meal plan. The other thing we're going to have is we're going to have some black beans, which I'm going to use these for 2 meals. I'm going to use some for most of them for lunch, but then we're also going to use some of them for dinner. And one of the dinners I'm making. What we're going to do is we're going to do like a chili bean on smashed potatoes. As you see, I have 10 pounds of red potatoes here. I was going to get Yukon Gold potatoes because they were both on sale. It's been a while since we've had Yukon Gold, and I do like them occasionally. They had rotten ones in every single bag. Every bag had a rotten potato. You could really tell they were rotten. So we're going to take some of these, use these for lunch. We're also going to use some of these potatoes in one of our dinners. We're going to do like a Mexican potato hash with chicken and some canned tomatoes I have for my pantry. I might even pull out a can of corn. I'm not decided yet. And we're going to take some of these beans. It's going to be really yummy. Oh, and a block of cheese. And we're going to go ahead and cook up all this chicken. Both packs. We're only using 1 pack for this meal prep. 1 pack I'm going to put into the freezer, and that's going to be for future weekend meals. Mac and tomatoes with buffalo chicken, or if I want to make a buffalo chicken wrap or a breakfast chicken wrap, anything I want to make, I can make it with that chicken because it's already pre-cooked. I love having pre-cooked chicken in my freezer. The other thing we're going to do with this chicken is we're going to take some of these squashes and zucchinis. Let me open them up here. So we have these little yellow zucchinis and squashes, green, yellow. What we're going to do is we're going to take the rice and chicken, and we're going to make an Asian rice dish. I'm not decided the sauce yet. We'll see when we get there, but it'll be good no matter what. So now I'm going to do my prep work. I need to use my Instapot a lot because it's going to be the most efficient way for me to get the majority of this cooked. I'm going to cook my rice on the rice setting. I'm going to cook probably the majority of this bag. I haven't quite decided yet. At least 5 to 6 cups of this rice is going to be cooked. So we'll cook our rice. Then we're going to cook our chicken. We're going to cook all of it. And it'll cook for about an hour in the Instant Pot. Then we're going to do our potatoes because I'm going to use the chicken liquid that I get, the chicken broth, to cook my potatoes. It's going to give it some extra bulk, extra flavor. It's going to be really, really good. We're going to cook our potatoes. They will take 4 minutes. Then we're going to cook our beans in the Instant Pot. They take 30 minutes. So everything's going to get cooked. I'm going to get everything peeled, washed, and ready to go. And then I'm going to show you all how I put it all together here in a little bit. All my prep work is done. It took a bit of time since I did rely on my Instapot quite a bit to keep the house from getting too warm. And now we're ready to start putting everything together. So for our Asian, I ended up doing a Mongolian sauce, or at least that's what the recipe said. This wasn't my recipe, but what it was is it's half a cup of water, a half a cup of soy sauce, a 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar, a half of a teaspoon of ginger, a ground ginger, and a tablespoon of minced garlic. I ended up using the chicken broth that I had left over from cooking, and you can tell I have a quart jar here. And what I've done is I actually did this in 4 batches. The reason I did it in 4 batches is because of Aaron. So I ended up putting a little bit here in my pan. Let me get a thing so I can show you all. So I put a little bit here so it can start thickening up. But I did 4 batches because of Aaron. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to cook my vegetables. And I actually did end up opening a can of corn. I split it between the Mexican potatoes and the Asian. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add my chopped zucchini and my diced squash. So I did peel these because these weren't mine. If these were mine, I would not have peeled them. But these weren't my vegetables. I didn't grow them in my garden. I ended up buying them. So I didn't end up peeling them. You could tell I cut them in different ways. So I have found if you have a picky eater, this is the way you can help them. So I cut my zucchini in circles and I diced my squash. I like to do this so if it's something that I don't like to eat, I can pick it out. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to get these cooked down in this sauce, and then I will add the chicken. And I have the extra sauce that I will pour over everything whenever I get it plated up. And here's what the rice ended up looking like. This is a little over half of it. I have the baby out some for her meal because I always do hers first. She's the baby. She gets her meals first. And then here's our chicken. We'll be splitting between the 2 dishes. And then I still have a bowl here to add. So we'll set that out of the way. Now let's do our rice pudding. So I have our rice and I have 8 cups of milk in here. And I went ahead and did 8 on purpose because I have found for us to make it a little creamier, we like the 8 cups. So I did 8 cups of milk. I would probably say 4 cups of rice, 5 cups of rice, somewhere around there. I'm going to take some vanilla that we make ourselves. If y'all want to know how we make vanilla, let us know. We actually have a batch coming, and I put in a good heaping amount here. I always try to make sure I have a batch going or I add some new to it, just so we always have that vanilla flavor because we use it for our coffee. And then I'm going to pour some of these cranberries I have. I'm trying to use up. So I'm probably going to do a good cup and a half. We're trying to get these used up. I thought that would be a good use of it. A lot of people put raisins in their rice pudding. This is just a different take. We do have raisins, but I tend to have more cranberries than raisins. And I'm going to add a cup of sugar if I don't make a mess. I'm very likely to make a mess. So set that over to the side. We'll get this started, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put this on low on the stove and just let it cook. All we're doing is let it cook on low. It'll simmer, it'll get good and creamy, and it'll just taste absolutely wonderful. But that's how easy a rice pudding is. I'm going to get this put back on my stove, and we get the lid on it. And yes, it's looking a little rough. That's one of the dishes I'm using for making sourdough loaves. So it does look a little rough around the edges. Let's make our chili next. So, chili beans. I would normally cook all this together, but where I needed these black beans cooked in 2 batches, one for the taco bake, one for the chili bake, I didn't want them cooked together. I didn't want to add all the seasonings at the same time. So I'm going to add some chili powder. And I'm going to put a good dose in there. And I want this to be a thicker chili, not a really thin chili. I want this to be kind of thick and just a really good thick chili here. And then I'm going to add a can of tomatoes that we canned ourselves. We're just going to stir this up and see if it needs any other flavoring. We like a lot of tomatoes. We use tomato products and everything. If you all have not noticed, tomatoes are like one of our absolute favorites in our household. But this is a meatless lunch. And I really do like to go meatless on my lunches a lot because it does save on your budget. I like to use beans. I like to use lentils, things like that to kind of help bulk up the meal. That's why we have a lot of chili or chili-like meals. It's just chili is versatile. It is so versatile. It is not just for hot dogs. It is not just for crackers. You can eat chili on everything. I'm going to add a little bit more chili powder. I can't tell you how much I use. I can't. Because I do it based off of color. I do it based off of flavor. We do not eat food that does not have like a punch of flavor. It's just, if I served Aaron food like that, he would leave me. Okay, and here are the potatoes that we need. So I need this to go 4 meals. The reason 4 meals is I was supposed to cook this yesterday. That didn't happen because I had a bit of a family emergency that we had to deal with, which is okay. They happen, but it changed my schedule a bit. So I'm going to take a fork and I'm going to smash these a bit. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to use the oven to bake this. And it's going to bake probably 40 minutes to an hour in the oven on 350. I'm a fan of 350. Okay, that's pretty good. So we're going to do 350, and then with like 10 minutes to go, I'll sprinkle a cup of cheese on top of this and it will be amazing. And we'll show you when we get done and Erin does the taste test just how good this is going to be. I have found it's kind of like it's a play on baked potatoes, chili and baked potatoes. The only difference is I'm not having to bake a potato and then do the chili. I'm doing it all at once, which I'm a huge fan of. I might have too much chili, and if I do, you know what? That's okay. I'm going to put it in the freezer. And I have too much chili, and I always do this. I don't know how to cook small amounts of food, people. But we'll make it work. I do have to put some for the baby. She is not a huge potato eater. We try. It's not her favorite thing. We think it's a texture thing, so I do have to pull some out for her. So I'll get hers out, and then there's still going to be a little bit left. And what I'll do is I'll put it in a bag and put it in the freezer. And this can be a meal for me and Erin, a dinner, a lunch, something like that on a Sunday. I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to stir this really quick. I don't want it to burn. When you're doing squash and zucchini, you kind of have to keep an eye on it. Don't want it to get burnt. Especially have issues with these pans. Sometimes they want to burn up on me. This recipe, I did use a little bit more brown sugar. It was a little too soy saucy for me. So I did up my brown sugar a bit. Turned it up to a medium heat. Okay. So as you can tell, I probably put about 2 cups of beans here on these potatoes. I also did about half a can of that corn. And now we're going to add our chicken and our tomatoes and our seasoning. I'm going to use a good bit of this chicken. I'm going to leave enough for the Asian and use a big chunk of this chicken. My hands are clean. We are such a chicken family. It's just our favorite. Okay. That's good. No, we'll do a little more. There we go. All right. Have my taco seasoning. I'm going to go ahead and put that on, and then I will do the tomatoes after I add the taco seasoning here. And we are going to go heavy on our taco seasoning. I mean, go as light as you need to. I know a lot of people have a hard time with flavor and seasoning, and that is okay. We aren't that family. We love a good, we love a good seasoned potato and seasoned meal. For us, the way I think this is going to be, it's going to be like a cheesy, like the ranch potatoes. Well, so we're making taco potatoes. Think of it that way. And we're just adding all of our taco seasoning, and we're just using the potato as our base instead of using like a nacho or something like that. Because potatoes were on sale. And that is the goal of Meals for Deals. We look at what's on sale and how can we take and innovate and change and make something that is just as good as using things that aren't on sale. And I really do think this is going to taste absolutely amazing. And what I will do is I will put this in the oven and cook it 40 minutes to an hour on 350. Close to the time it gets done, I'll come in and I will add our cup of cheese on top. It'll be cheesy and gooey. And I like to pre-cook my potatoes. Anytime I do potatoes, I have found if you pre-cook your potato, it completely changes how it does in the oven, which is why I use the Instant Pot, because you'd be like, well, Julia, why didn't you just go ahead and cut your potato, cook it all? It's more likely to get crispy in the oven, which I kind of wanted to get a bit of a crisp, so I might have to put it on broil. We'll see. But I want it to have a good crispiness. I don't want it to be like I don't want it to completely fall apart. And you can fry this. It'd be really good fried. I'm just not a huge, if I can put it in the oven, that gives me time to do dishes versus having to sit and babysit. That's kind of how I look at these things. I don't want to babysit my food. I want to be able to set it, forget it, I'm done. Use a stir. Need to turn down my other sauce as it is rolling a little bit. And yeah, I'm using the same spoon because it's the exact same sauce. I'm not dirtying up another spoon for a sauce that's the exact same. That's silly in my opinion. Now we're going to add, again, another quart of tomatoes. If you have diced tomatoes, use those. If you have like a rotel tomato, you like that, use that. I'm going to be very careful because I don't want to make a mess. Whatever tomato product you like to use, go for it. We just do basic cooked tomatoes that I can. I use them for everything. They're just so much more versatile. Tell me in the comments, how do you all can your tomatoes, if you can them, or how do you all buy them? I'm not a rotel person, or like with the peppers in my tomatoes. Even though I like spice, I like heat, and I'll be adding hot sauce to this. You can about guarantee Aaron and I will be adding some hot sauces. I'm going to add some more, the rest of the tomato. I'm also going to add some more of this taco seasoning because I want to make sure it's flavored. If it's not flavored. But tell me how you all like what you all buy. I mean, because I'm a one tomato type person. I do like having some tomato paste on hand for like an emergency situation. But otherwise, I can enough tomatoes. I don't really have to worry about it. I just feel like I am a versatile person. I want things in their simplest form. I can make tomato sauce with these tomatoes. I can make anything I want to with these tomatoes. So that's why I prefer just canning them straight. So tell me, I would love to know, what do y'all do? How do you all keep it together? Because I haven't learned that trick yet. So good. So I am a little sunburnt. We went to an event, a homestead event. It was really nice. It was in Asheville. Got a little burnt, and that's normal. We weren't very smart about it. We learned our lesson. So we didn't think it was so cold. It was so cool at this place. So we didn't even cross our minds that we needed sunscreen on. So I ended up a little burnt. Aaron got a teeny tiny bit burnt. And the baby got a little bit burnt. But we're all okay. We just kind of deal with it. So you might see my face peeling, and I do apologize for that. It's just part of every day. We're just stirring everything up, making sure everything's cooked. And these have cooked down quite a bit. I'm going to turn them up just a little bit more. I want the zucchini and squash just to be cooked just a bit, but this is done. So again, I'm going to cook it, let it bake, let it do its thing in the oven, and it will be ready to go. Okay, now the last thing we have to do is get the chicken in the squash and zucchini so it can start cooking. And you can see we had quite a bit of chicken for this one. And we're just going to make sure we get it fully incorporated. And we're just going to let this cook down. And then what I will do is I'll plate everything up with the rice, the extra sauce after it kind of reduces down some. And it'll all go really well together. I'm trying to get to sauces that aren't, like, I don't want to have to make yum yum sauce every single time I make Asian. I like to have some other flavors. I need to have some things on hand so I can make sweet and sour. I know we like sweet and sour, but I don't keep pineapples on here because Aaron does not like pineapple. He just doesn't. But a lot of sweet and sour bases use pineapple. So if you have one that doesn't, comment me. Let me know. Okay, well, we're going to let everything finish cooking. I'm going to put everything together. Again, 40 minutes, hour after these have been baking and simmering on 350, 300, somewhere around there. Cheese. Whatever cheese you have, I'm going to use that New York sharp cheddar. Extra sharp cheddar, so it shouldn't have to use as much. It's the other trick. When you're buying cheese, get the extra sharp. Extra sharp, because it's going to have a stronger flavor you won't have to use as much. You could stretch it a little bit further. So I'm taking that 1 bar, I'm going to stretch it between 2 meals. It's going to work out really, really well for us. So when we come back, Aaron will be taste testing and letting you all know how everything tastes. If it tastes good, if it tastes bad, he will let you know. So see you here in a little bit. Okay, we're back. Aaron's here to taste test. And do you want to start with that or breakfast?
I'll start with this.
Okay, so the rice is Asian rice. It's got a soy sauce sauce on it. It has, you like that? It's chicken and the zucchini, and I also added some corn.
Does it have teriyaki in it?
No. But the sauce
Doesn't taste just like soy though.
It doesn't, because it's soy and brown sugar, a little ginger, chicken broth.
It's good.
It's got a lot of sauce. I quadrupled the recipe for you.
Okay.
That is chili beans with potatoes and cheese. That's lunch.
That's good.
The potatoes are perfect, right?
They are.
And I messed up the camera on, so I forgot to turn the light on and I forgot to pull it back. So my head might be cut off in the video. So we are sorry about that. This is breakfast. It's rice pudding with cranberries.
Oh, okay. Thought that was beans for some reason.
A lot of people use raisins, but we've got to use up those cranberries.
Very sweet.
Really, I put like way less sugar in it this time.
I think it's the cranberries.
You think it's the cranberries?
Mm-hmm.
How do you like it?
They're good. All right.
It's gone?
No, not yet, but
It will be.
it will be.
Okay, this is dinner, and this is like a cheesy taco potato bake. So it has chicken, beans, corn, tomatoes, potatoes, and cheese.
They're good.
I thought so too. That's the best way I can describe it, is like, instead of like a ranch potato bake, it's a taco potato bake.
That's probably a good explanation. Because it's close to the ranch, you know.
Right.
Except it's not ranch.
It's taco.
I think I'm good this week.
Yep. So, what do you think?
Good. I like those.
Did you?
I thought it was really good.
You had no idea what I was cooking.
No idea what she was cooking. So this is the first time I knew what was even going on.
Other than the fact that I was cooking.
Right. Well, if you got any comments, questions, anything you want to hear in a future episode, you can either send it to thecannycouple@yahoo.com or leave it down below, and make sure to go over and check out our link tree with all of our other content.
And as always, thank you for joining us on The Canny Couple, where we work hard, live simple, and enjoy life. Have a wonderful day.